All right, so let's look at the first card. I have the King of Wands in the reverse position, and what's crowning it is the Lovers. Or what's crossing it is the Lovers, excuse me. Okay, so the King of Wands does indicate somebody that can potentially be a fire sign. In the reverse position, it is somebody with quite a quick temper, okay? They are very witty and they really mean well in general, but sometimes when they are upset, it is very difficult for them to contain their anger, okay? So in certain situations, I do feel crossing you is the Lovers. So innately, this is somebody that, you know, you are either romantically involved with or somebody that you care a great deal about, okay? So there is a sense of like a lot of devotion, a lot of emotional investment with this other person, okay? At the same time, this energy can play out as you, so tempers might be flaring up this week, so be very careful about that, especially when you're dealing with people that you care about. Sometimes the ones that are closest to us, that knows how to push our buttons, are the ones that, you know, we are actually a little bit more harsh about, so just be very careful that you're not taking it out on your partner, you're not taking it out on people you love who are in your midst, who are trying their best to understand you, okay? So keep your temper in check, all right? So in terms of your recent past, I do have the Two of Coins here. And this is, once again, you know, it is the card of the balancing act. It is indicative of emotional balance as well as financial balance. In this situation, because we have the Lovers card, I am going to read this as emotional balance. And basically, your emotional balance is tied up with another person. If you can see this card, he is standing on top of a lizard, which means, you know, it's another, an external energy outside of himself, okay? So what this indicates to me is that your emotional balance is depends on how another person acts in your life. If they're able to stand still and be supportive of you, or if they're, you know, going to wiggle and throw you off balance. So it is a card in which you really have to find emotional balance within yourself first, and don't rely on the other person to fulfill you emotionally, because that's casting a lot of like expectations on the relationship, and if it doesn't go the right way, you might end up very disappointed. And it's just not fair to put that much pressure on the other person to you know, it's not fair to expect them to help you achieve that emotional balance, okay? So be very careful with this energy. It is in your past, so I do feel that this is a situation that you had to leave behind. I hope that moving forward, you've learned from this so that you don't have the same types of expectations in your present situation, okay? And then these cards flew out, so let's look at the first one. I do have the Devil in the reverse position, yes. So you definitely overcome this habit, okay? So because this was in the past, the Devil in the reverse position does indicate letting go of old ways of behaving. I do feel moving forward, you're going to be much better at handling this energy, and at the same time, you're not going to cast like really high hopes and expectations, and, you know, you're not going to expect your partner or whoever's in your life to fulfill you emotionally. You're going to try to find that within yourself, okay? And you're going to start grounding yourself a little more. So this is a very good energy here. And in terms of what is crowning you, I do have the World in the reverse position. So it indicates to me like even wanting to expand, but also taking things to the next level, but not having the right timing or not having the consent of the other person in order to proceed, okay? So there's a period of like suspension, of waiting as well with this card. And if you look at this card, once again, it is love related as well. So a lot of you might be dealing with this in an interpersonal relationship capacity rather than a work project. It could also be a work project in which you've invested a great deal of feelings and expectations, and, you know, you have high hopes for it. But in the reverse position, it does indicate that this situation is basically out of your control, okay? And once again, you're relying on another person to like formulate the plans and to give you the green light in order to proceed. So there is an element of like, you know, being kind of like stuck in limbo in this situation and not being able to move forward. But then again, we do have Mercury in retrograde, so that might actually work out in your favor. So what is basically in the situation that you're not aware of is the Ten of Wands. Okay, so once again, this period of waiting is going to be in your favor because right now you have a lot on your plate, and if you were to move this project forward, that's another big headache that you're going to have to deal with, and you are stretching yourself very thin as is. So it's important that it's actually to your benefit that this is stagnating, so that you can take care of whatever you need to take care of first before you can devote yourself fully to this. And as for the advice from the universe here, I do see we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. And the Eight of Cups also indicates, you know, it's a situation that happened in the past or that might come into the picture for this week. It is regrettable, but you have moved on from it, okay? However, in the reverse position, it doesn't indicate that you're able to move past it just yet. And I do sense you're not able to move past it because you have to cycle back in, and because you were multitasking in the past and you dropped the ball, okay? So you were like overexerting your time, your resources, your energy, your strength, and you're not doing things to the best of your capabilities. And now, because this one project is stalled, you have the time to go back and fix it and achieve like a better outcome from it. So the advice here is to go back and fix it, okay? Go back and do the finishing touches so that it can be more representative of your capabilities, okay? Because like I do feel an energy in which you are overextending yourself, in which you're dabbling in too many things, and as a result you're not doing any of those things like extremely well to the best of your capabilities, and you don't want to live with a regret. So, you know, if you have some extra time, really go back and do, you know, finish up with the last minute touches on, you know, those existing projects, okay? And what I do sense here is what's external to you is the Hanged Man, okay? So in the upright position, yeah, so this project is getting stalled mainly to help you to rework some of the things that you've been doing, okay? And I do sense here too, this same card is corroborating this same energy. And then there's that whole element of going back and fixing things. So if there is even a relationship, like an interpersonal relationship that you've kind of like, you or the other person kind of lost your temper and you don't know where it's going, it is important to go back and fix it. It's important to go back and apologize, okay? Because I feel that both parties might be operating from a place of immense stress and they say things they don't mean, or they lash out the wrong people, okay? So really go back and fix this. As for your hopes and aspirations, we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords in the traditional tarot does indicate, like, you know, not having enough information, okay? Because she's blindfolded in the traditional deck. In this situation, she's not blindfolded. So the mental anguish, I do feel that with this card in the reverse position, you actually have an opportunity to go back and fix it. You actually have an opportunity to gain a lot of clarity and insight. And at this point in your life, you know how you or the other person, or, you know, the environment that you were in contributed to this falling out, if there was a falling out, contributed to like this place of stress. So because of it, be the bigger person at least, or, you know, I do feel that whoever it is that you're dealing with in that capacity, they're coming back into the picture right now so that you can fix it, okay? So just make sure you do the right thing and try to fix it. A lot of you might be dealing with like fire sign. I do feel that the same energy came out in the May reading. It is Mercury in retrograde, so, you know, people and situations tend to cycle back in. So if you are dealing with that fire sign, I do sense that they're there to help you, okay? So really try your best. It wasn't for this month. I believe it was for April, but They are trying to help you, okay, and they are operating from a good place, so just really try to fix it. As for the outcome, I do have the Five of Coins, okay, so the Five of Coins is basically, you know, in the reverse position is actually very good. It's overcoming your sense of like self-doubt, your sense of like lovability and you know, worthiness, okay, so coming to terms with that, and especially like moving on. So what I am seeing for this week is that the main thing is you are coming to the point where you are realizing that your other people's actions should not affect how you feel about yourself, okay? And in the past, this was a lesson that you kind of learned, but then you never really implemented it, you never really internalized it, and you never like, I guess, apply it outside of this situation. And in the process of dealing with somebody in your current environment who you love a great deal, and they care about you too, but you know, they have their own lives outside of you, so it's important not to like make yourself like kind of like the center of their world. I hope that makes sense to you. So for example, if you're dealing with a child, your own child, and you know, they are the center of your world, but it can't be the other way around, because ultimately they have their own lives. So it's important to accept the fact that other people, you know, have their own things, so you can't really rely on another person to make yourself happy. You have to come to terms with your own sense of worth first in order to interact with another person in a healthy way, okay? So this is a week in which this whole information or this whole lesson is cycling back up, so that or cycling back in, excuse me, I can't speak. So this whole situation is cycling back in, and it is going to teach you a very important about, you know, what love is, and at the same time, like, how you can have healthy relationships in general, okay? So I hope this lesson sinks in this time around. I don't feel that it's sunk in the first time, but I do hope that this energy will be, you know, at least eye-opening for you, okay? So it's a very good lesson, and you're going to be in a good place by the end of this week, okay? So I wish you all the best, and really try to implement this in real life as well. So please like, share, subscribe if the reading resonates with you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching.